Today, we're going to demystify one of the biggest hurdles in math, algebraic expressions. Our whole goal here is to take the confusion out of all those letters and symbols so you can look at them and know exactly what to do. Let's jump right in.
So, have you ever seen letters pop up in your math problems and your brain just kind of freezes? If you ever felt that, you are definitely not alone. It's a super common feeling, and today we're going to clear that hurdle together. First things first, we've got to learn to speak the language. To get comfortable with algebra, we need to understand what the basic parts even are. So let's break down exactly what we're looking at. Okay, so what is an algebraic expression? At its heart, it's just a mix of things you already know, really. You've got numbers, you've got letters, which we just call variables, and you've got your basic math operations, plus, minus, times, divide. That's the whole recipe. And here's what they look like in the wild. You might see something like 3x plus 5, or maybe 7a minus 2b. You can just think of them as little math phrases. Some have one variable, some have a couple. It's all just about combining these different parts. Now for our first key skill, simplifying. I like to call this the sorting rule, because that's really all we're doing. We're just tidying up our expressions to make them way easier to work with. And honestly, the best way to think about this is to picture yourself sorting laundry, right? You put all your socks in one pile and all your t-shirts go in another. In algebra, we do the exact same thing, but we call it combining like terms. This table shows you exactly how to sort. We can only group together like terms, and that means terms that have the exact same variable part. So 3x and 5x, they both have an x, so they're like terms. We can combine them. But look at the other side. 3x and 5y have different letters, so they have to stay in separate piles. And pay attention to this last one. 4y and 4y squared are unlike terms. That tiny little exponent makes them different, so we can't combine them. Okay, let's see this in action with 4a plus 3 plus 2a plus 6. First, we identify our like terms. We grab all the a terms, that's 4a and 2a. Then we grab the plain numbers, the 3 and the 6. Once they're sorted into their piles, we just add them up. 4a plus 2a gives us 6a, and 3 plus 6 is 9. Put it back together, and our simplified, much tidier expression is 6a plus 9. Let's try one more, this time with two different variables. We have 5x plus 3y plus 2x plus 4y. The rule is exactly the same. Sort the x's together. 5x and 2x make 7x. Then sort the y's. 3y and 4y make 7y. And there's our final answer, 7x plus 7y. See, it's really just sorting. You have absolutely mastered sorting. So let's add our next big skill to the mix, multiplying. For this, we're going to use something called the distribution rule to expand our algebraic toolkit. First, a couple quick rules of the road. When you multiply a number by variable term, like 4 times 5x, you just multiply the numbers, so you get 20x. When you multiply a variable by itself, like x times x, that just becomes x squared. And if you have two variable terms, like 2x times 3x, well, multiply the numbers, 2 times 3 is 6, and multiply the variables, x times x is x squared. Put them together, 6x squared. Okay, now for the main event, the distribution rule. The key idea here is actually really simple. When you see a term outside a set of parentheses, you have to multiply it by everything inside. It doesn't get to pick and choose, it has to be shared or distributed with every single term. Let's look at an example. We have 3 times x plus 4. First, the 3 is distributed to the x, which gives us 3x. Then it's distributed to the 4, and 3 times 4 gives us 12. So our final expanded expression is 3x plus 12. As simple as that. Okay, you've seen the rules, you've walked through the examples, now it's your turn. Let's fire up a quick practice round to test out these new skills. First one, how would you simplify this expression? 5a plus 2 plus 3a plus 7. Think about our sorting rule. I'll give you a second. And the answer is 8a plus 9. You combine the a terms, 5a plus 3a, to get 8a, and then combine the numbers, 2 plus 7, to get 9. Nice work. All right, next up, time for some multiplication. How would you expand this? 4 times x plus 3. Remember that distribution rule? And the answer is 4x plus 12. The 4 multiplies the x, and the 4 also multiplies the 3. Excellent. Last one, a bit of a challenge. Simplify this. 6m plus 4n plus 2m plus n. Now remember, if a variable doesn't have a number in front of it, it's like there's a secret 1 there. Go ahead. And the final answer is 8m plus 5n. You combine the 6m and 2m to get 8m, and then you combine the 4n and that single n to get 5n. You're really getting the hang of this.
Okay, let's just zoom out for a second. In just the last few minutes, you have built an incredibly solid foundation in algebra. So let's talk about where you can go from here with these new skills. Here's the big takeaway. You now have the two core skills of algebra. You know how to sort by simplifying like terms, and you know how to distribute when multiplying. And these aren't just random rules, okay? This is the grammar of algebra. It's the foundation for solving the complex equations that run, well, everything from financial models to the software on your phone. And that really brings us to the end. You've got the tools. You've practiced the techniques. So the only question left is, what problem are you going to solve next?